greatest challenge to the church was not to come from hordes of sex-crazed pagan worshippers or from profiteering brothel owners. The great challenge came from the rise of scientific discovery. But oddly enough, instead of embracing sexual activity as part of the human experience, the scientists still clung to the old Christian aversion to sex. But with this difference, they tried to provide a scientific rationale for it. Sexual desires that had been sinful, were now seen as signs of illness, and as always, women seemed to suffer most.
If they, for example, participated in such things as masturbation, if they certainly had sex before marriage or sex after menopause, those were all thought to be examples of women's abnormal sexuality, and in that case, a woman might have been diagnosed a nymphomaniac. Women might have their ovaries removed, and the other, less frequently performed operation, but it still happened in both England and America, is a clitoridectomy, where women's clitoris would be removed.
But it wasn't only women who could suffer as a result of masturbation. Men too. Dr. Atisso, a medical advisor to the Pope in 1760, published his research showing that playing with yourself drives you mad.
Dr. Atisso medicalized, if you will, masturbation. Now we had a reason, that if you had too much sex, if you masturbated, well then you would go crazy, blind, make hair grow in your hands, make you become an imbecile. And so many men were castrated, resort to castration in order to not have this sex drive, and then you couldn't touch yourself to relieve yourself.
A less drastic solution was urgently needed. And since tasty foods like ham and eggs were supposed to increase a young man's libido, in 1898, one Dr. Kellogg offered a replacement breakfast.
Cornflakes were invented to stop people from having sex drive and stop them from masturbating. Dr. Kellogg was trying to develop a grain or a food to reduce the sex drive.
The only trouble was, Dr. Kellogg's original cornflakes were so tasteless they were hard to sell. So the original formula was made tastier, destroying the anti-libido effect, and he walked off in disgust.